to see our kids again. We know that it's not going to look the same like it did when we left in March. And so that's the reason why we called a meeting, so we can let you know what safety plan we have in place to ensure the safety of your children. So I'm so happy that you are here joining us today. And like I said, we're going to have a PowerPoint presentation. If you have any questions, they will be looking at the chat. You can put them in the chat, or at the end, you can go ahead and ask us as we finish up the presentation. I do ask that you turn off your mics, because I know sometimes we have the TV going on and some people may not be able to hear the presentation as we are presenting. So if you can please turn off your mic. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So Ms. Farr, you want to go ahead, and I can't see the presentation.
I believe she's just trying to present like she was presenting from her phone, but it'll change. I mentioned it to her.
Okay.
My phone? What in the world? Okay, how do I make this fun stuff?
Hang up your phone and do it only from your computer, because it might be interfering.
I don't even know. That's not even on my phone. I swear this place is haunted. That's not me. It says Angela Mejia is presenting. I don't know who that is. Who's Angela Mejia?
Miss Mejia? Where's Miss Mejia?
That's a parent.
Yeah, that's a parent, Miss Mejia. I think you might be presenting. Can you look on the right-hand corner of your screen? And there's 3 little dots there, and you're going to go ahead and put quick because it says, there we go. She stopped presenting. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear anything right now.
That's okay. We're like, who's presenting?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get out of there, but like my network, and it goes out with, sorry.
That's okay, miss. That's all right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So today we are here to talk about the reopening of Carrillo. And once again, we're here to present the safety protocols that we are going to be putting in place to ensure the safety of your children when they do return to school. My next slide, please. This is going to be the agenda. It's once again a welcome. Once again, I would like to welcome you. We're going to be talking about the attendance and commitment, the daily procedures, the safety protocols. We're also going to be talking about the daily schedule, the school supplies. And then, like I said, we are going to have questions at the end, or if you have any concerns, please, once again, let us know. Okay. All right. So just to begin with, everyone will be wearing a mask on campus. Everyone is going to be practicing the 6 feet physical distancing at all times. Everyone must wash their hands and use hand sanitizer often. Attendance and commitment, our phase 1 is going to start on Monday, October the 5th. And if your child met the criteria of phase 1, they have already been notified. You have already been notified that your child will be returning on Monday. If you have not been notified yet, we're still notifying our parents. Tomorrow will be the last day. I will be sending out a school messenger, letting the parents know not to send all the kids back on Monday, because we can only get 25% of our population back for phase 1. And 25% of our kids is only 75 students on campus. That's the amount of kids that we can accept at this time for phase 1. So I know the district has been sending out school messengers, emails to you about making that decision on the method of instruction on Skyward. And so this decision will last about the 9-week grading period. So in the middle of your grading period, you cannot change your mind to say, oh, no, I think I want them to go to in building. And so you're going to have to wait till the grading period ends to make your decision again. Okay, so every 9 weeks, you must log into your Skyward to select in building or remote. And not every student will start on October the 5th. So once again, some of the teachers have been already contacting you if you're on the list, because I have been reviewing that list with our teachers and we're trying to finalize it. And like I said, only 75 students can come back for phase 1. Okay, next. Okay, so our daily procedures, like I said, a lot of things have changed due to, the COVID-19 and just, just to keep everybody safe. So if you do have a child coming in to phase 1, we're only going to have one entrance to the building. And that entrance will be right here off of Price in front of the school. That's the only entrance we're going to have. So if your child is coming for phase 1, what we're going to be doing, we are going to be taking temperature checks before they get out of the car. And then if they have a temperature less than 100 degrees, then they're going to be able to enter the school. Okay, if any student in the child has a temperature 100 or higher, he or she will now be considered exposed to COVID and placed on remote learning and not allowed back to campus until after the 10 days of isolation. But keep in mind that we are going to have our nurse assess that student as well. Once again, there's only going to be one entrance when coming into the building. No parents, we ask that parents do not walk the students inside the building to the class, because that means that we're going to have to take your temperature and we have to worry about more people in the building. So unfortunately, this time for phase 1, until further notice, until it's safer, where we can start allowing our parents back in the building, we ask that you drop them off. If you're walking and you're walking the students to school, that you drop them off out in the front. We will have somebody monitoring the front of the school, and we'll take their temperature. And then if they don't have a temperature of 100 degrees or higher, then we're going to allow them to enter the building and go to class. But parents will not be allowed to come into the building to walk their students. All students must wear a mask and a face shield at all times. That is going to be a requirement. We are going to be providing the mask and the face shields for all our students. Okay. Pickup time, once again, that has not changed. The school day has not changed. It still starts at 7:40. The instructional day starts at 7:40 and it ends at 3 o'clock. Keep in mind that we're asking everybody for phase 1. If you are part of phase 1, we ask that you start dropping off your students at 7:15, because the staff is getting here at 7 o'clock and we're settling in and getting our stuff, getting our thermometers ready so we can start taking temperatures and be out there by 7 o'clock. But if you can, drop them off by 7:15, that'll be better. So we'll be ready to go. And going back to the pickup time, it's going to be at 3 p.m. All students with pre-K siblings will be picked up at the pre-K Head Start door in the back of the school. So for dismissal, it's going to be a little bit different. Dismissal will be similar to the way it was last year. So if you have a pre-K child and they have a sibling, the sibling and the pre-K child will be dismissed from where the pre-K building is at. So if you're with us last year, it's still the same procedure. The same thing with kinder siblings and kinder students. All students with kinder siblings will be picked up in the drive-through in the back of the school. And that is right here off of New Laredo Highway. If you had students in kinder, you'll know that it was this other area by the cafeteria where they're going to be able to pick up the students for kinder. Okay. Students in 1st through 5th grade will be picked up. Once again, it's going to be similar to it was last year in front of the school, and that's going to be the one off of Price Avenue. So any child that is in 1st or 5th grade will be picked up in the drive-through in the front of the school. We do ask that you be prompt to pick up no later than 3:15. Walkers, if you are here and you're not in a car, we ask that you wait by the 1st grade. You'll see where it has the 1st grade sign on the column. You're going to wait on that side, and then we will get your child and we will deliver your child to you. Okay, because keep in mind that even outside, we are going to have social distancing tape, and the students are going to have to follow those stickers, and they're going to have to stand by those stickers. And we're finding that there's not a lot of room. So we do ask that any parents who are going to pick up their child, that they wait right there by first grade, and then we will take your child to you. Okay. Early pickup. So our daily procedures, that's going to change because once again, we have to be careful who we're letting into the building. We're only want a certain amount of people in the building daily. So that's going to change. So let's say, for example, you have a doctor's appointment and you need to pick up your child. Okay. And you know, it has to be before 3 o'clock. We are asking that you do that before 2:30 p.m. Okay. If not, you'll have to wait till 3 o'clock. If a student needs to be picked up early, prior notice must be given. So we would appreciate that if you are going to pick up your child, you could call us to let us know. So that way we get prior notice and we can get the child ready when you get here. Okay. So if you can, please call the front office, talk to Ms. Flores and let her know that your child has a dental appointment and to get him ready or her ready so that we can have your child right here. And so when you come in, we don't waste a lot of time. Okay. Once on campus, the parent will buzz the front office. So you know that little buzz that we've always had, you'll buzz the front office. And we do ask, it is a requirement that you bring a valid ID. Okay, that part hasn't changed. So if you're going to pick up your child, you do need to bring a valid ID. That's just to verify that you are the parent. And then office staff will speak to the parent through the speaker. So you'll be like, yes, Ms. Flores, I am here to pick up Rolando Sandoval. Okay. And then she'll go out there, make sure, you know, you have your ID. She'll see your ID, and then they'll bring your child to you. Okay. So office staff will get the student from the class. Please update who has permission to pick up your child. And you do that through Skyward. So you will update that information. Okay, so for meals, and I just want to let you know that there will be free breakfast, free lunch, and then the children will be getting a free snack at the end of the day. So what we're going to do, once again, we're going to do something a little bit different from what we did last year. As you recall, the kids would come in, eat lunch in the cafeteria, but because of social distancing, we cannot have a lot of kids in the cafeteria at the same time. So what we're doing this year, they are going to be eating breakfast in class. Okay. For lunch, we are going to be serving lunch in the cafeteria because we have a lot of space and we can divide the kids. Keep in mind that for phase 1, we're allowed 75 kids. We're going to divide those kids, which would be something like 30 something kids. So we can afford to put everybody in the cafeteria. So kinder through second will be eating from 11 to 11:30. And then those kids will leave. And then from 11:30 to 12 o'clock, we're going to have our 3rd through 5th grade students. And we have marked off our cafeteria for social distancing as well. So they're not going to be sitting right next to each other. There is going to be a 6 feet space in between them. They are going to be facing inward. They're all going to be facing one side. Nobody will be sitting across from them from phase 1. We have put the floor decals in the building all over our campus. So in the cafeteria, the first thing that the kids are going to have to learn when they come back on Monday is about social distancing. The procedures, like this is where you stand. Every day you're going to stand in this little area right here by the decal. And you'll have it's marked already for us. Meals for remote. So for those of you who are not coming in for phase 1 and you're asking, well, are they still going to have meals for us? Yes, we will still have meals provided for you. You can pick up breakfast, lunch, and dinner on Monday through Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. And I do encourage parents to come by and pick up your meals. Please do that. It's a good program that we have. It's free. You know, I would just take advantage of that. Okay. For restroom breaks and water recess, once again, we are going to be teaching our students about social distancing, washing their hands, not sharing any food, because that's another thing. In the cafeteria, we do have signs in the cafeteria saying, do not share food with anybody, do not share supplies. So students must observe social distancing while in the restroom. Students must wash hands after using the restroom. If the restroom door is not propped, students are encouraged to use paper towels when opening a door. Students will not use campus water fountains. We will be supplying water bottles for our students because we have closed down our water fountains. Bottled water will be provided by the district. Students can bring their own refillable bottles from home, but there will be no way to refill it on campus since we're going to close down those water fountains. There will be no outside recess until further notice, so students will take recess inside the classroom. And that's because of the playground. We don't want people, once again, getting together, violating social distancing, touching, any playground equipment that's outside. Okay. Safety first. So once again, like I mentioned to you, we are allowed 75 students to come to phase 1. There was a criteria that the district sent out about 2 weeks ago, a week ago, about what that criteria was, and that was sent out to everybody, our community. We're not going to allow volunteers on the campus, not at this time until further notice. And that's the part that hurts me because I have a lot of great parents, Ms. Guayardo, and all my parents and Ms. Gaetan, everybody's out there. But to keep everybody safe, the students, the staff safe, we got to just minimize the amount of people that are coming into our building. So it's all for the safety of our kids and our staff. All desks and tables have been set up for social distancing. So we have marked off each classroom. And so all the teachers have been working really hard. The custodians have been working really hard to ensure that we have 6 feet away from each other. All teachers will be required to wear masks and face shields at all times. So if you are on phase 1, you're part of phase 1, on Monday morning, you're going to see us out there where we will have our face masks and we will have our shields on Monday morning. All students are required to wear masks and shields at all times, and that is a district policy. And once again, that's to ensure the safety of all our kids and our staff. Okay. This is what our hallway looks like. Once again, I mentioned that it looks different from the time that we all last saw each other in March. We already have our little decals on where the students are going to be standing, or it's marked out for the 6 feet distancing. This is our cafeteria where the X's are. The students are not going to be sitting there. They're going to be sitting in those chairs that do not have the X, and that's to mark off the to comply with the 6 feet distancing as well in the cafeteria. Okay, this is what our classroom looks like. We've had to move a lot of furniture out and just put it to the side because eventually our goal is to bring everybody back when it's safe. So right now we had to put furniture on one side on the corner, but we were able to tape off where the desks are supposed to be. So this is what one of the classroom here at Carrillo looks like. So as you can see, there's 4 desks in that classroom, and they've already been marked for that social distancing. Okay. Safety first. Social distancing will be enforced at all times in the hallway, cafeteria, computer lab, and gym. Once again, on the first day for phase 1, when the kids come back, the teachers are going to be going over routines and procedures. It's been 7 months since we've seen our kids, and our students, may not know because they've been at home. They really don't know what social distancing looks like now that there's going to be more people at school. So that's the first thing we're going to be teaching our kids: social distancing, washing their hands at all times. We do have sanitizing stations by all the classrooms. So as soon as the kids walk into the classroom, they're going to sanitize their hands. So no parents or visitors will be allowed during breakfast or lunch. In the past, we've allowed our parents to join us for lunch. You could join your child for lunch. And unfortunately, until further notice, we're not going to allow that because, once again, we are taking temperature checks on everybody. We're making sure that everybody who comes into our building is we don't have a large amount of people in our building. And then after we start letting visitors come in, then we got to monitor who came in. If something happens where a visitor was infected, then now we have a problem. So we're closely monitoring that. So unfortunately, this year, or until further notice, like I mentioned, we're not going to allow visitors to eat lunch with our children until further notice. Okay. I know some of you may have questions about birthday parties, goodie bags, celebrations with food allowed. I know in the past, parents would bring pizza and then they would share, with the class. Unfortunately, I would ask for right now, until further notice, we're probably not going to be doing that, not for phase 1. So just be patient. Hopefully, as things get better, we can start allowing certain things like that to happen again here on campus. But as of right now, we cannot allow that. Hand sanitizer will be available and hand washing will be enforced at all times. Once again, our teachers will be teaching our kids how to do that, when to do that. Like I mentioned, we do have hand sanitizer stations all over this campus. Seats, tables, door handles, and high touch areas will be disinfected between lunch periods and restrooms throughout the day. And I will say that our custodians will be sanitizing our restrooms every hour. Okay, and I'm going to let Mr. Guerra, who is our nurse, talk about the COVID-19 cases on campus.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, safety first for the students and for the staff is very important. If there is a possible COVID-19 case on campus, the student who shows COVID symptoms, we're talking about fever and all the other symptoms related to COVID, will immediately be separated from the others and wait in a dedicated isolation room. Then I will start contacting the parent. Hopefully the parent will show up, within 30 minutes to an hour, or as soon as possible. The students' temperatures that are in there longer than 30 minutes, the temperatures will be checked every 30 minutes until the parent picks up the child. The parents will be given a COVID-19 medical referral letter and explaining the reason the student's being sent home. Follow-up recommendation is with your doctor. Student being converted at this time will be converted to long distance while they are quarantined at home. And requirements needed to return to school will be sent out to the parent when they come and pick up the child. Like I said, safety first. We want to protect the children, the students, and the staff. Safety material provided by the school district is, hand sanitizer, masks, face shields, dividers to be used where physical distance is not possible, and bottled water will be provided at the school. Like Ms. Sandoval said, the water fountains are not to be used, and they got plastic covering. So just remind your children, your students that they will have to fill up their water bottle at home, and they can come up to the front or ask their teacher to come up to the front office. We'll have more bottled water available so they can fill up their bottled waters if they bring them to school.
The daily schedule, once again, at 7:15, we will be checking a student's temperature in their cars. If you are part of the phase 1, we ask that you don't drop them off and then drive off. Please do not. We've got to make sure that our kids are safe. We got to make sure that our kids are healthy. So we are going to be checking before, and we ask that you wait until we give you the green light, like, okay, they're good. Okay, so please do not leave. Breakfast is going to be picked up and taken to the classroom. At 7:50, just like it was last year, the tardy bell rings and students will report to the office if they are tardy. At 11 to 11:30, lunch, once again, lunch will be from 11 to 11:30 for K through 2nd. For grades 3rd through 5th, 11:30 to 12 p.m. will be the lunch. And then similar to last year, dismissal is at 3 o'clock. And then just so you know that we are ensuring that our kids stay safe, so they will be staying together throughout the day as a class. And that's once again just to make sure that we know exactly where these kids were throughout the day if something should happen. Okay. We do ask that the children do not share supplies. In the past, you used to have, just little boxes with crayons and the kids would share. They would be in a group. Unfortunately, that's not going to be happening this year. So we do ask that they bring their own supplies. The teachers are working at getting you the school supply list that they will need for the future if you are not in phase 1. What they will need for sure, we will tell you, is they are going to have to bring their Chromebooks. So we issued Chromebooks from March all the way to the beginning of the school year. So your children should have a Chromebook. We ask that they bring their Chromebook because we have to keep in mind that some of our kids are still remote instruction. So the teacher's going to have to be doing both. She's going to have to teach face-to-face and teach remote. So we are asking that the child brings their fully charged Chromebook to school every day. We also distributed textbooks back in August when we had a supply distribution. That they will need to bring their math book and their language arts books if they're on phase 1. And if phase 2 and phase 3, they also have to do that. Mask, well, we're going to also be providing that. Personal tissue, if you feel comfortable, giving them hand sanitizer, they can bring that. Backpacks will be permitted on campus. And then once again, any other items that the teacher is requiring you to have, they will be contacting you. And then also pencil box bag, pencils, crayons, markers, spiral notebooks, water bottle, and personal tissue box, okay?